What's up, what's up, what's up? All right, what's going down, boys? Let me turn the phone off real quick. Can you guys hear me all right? Double checking the mic. Had it off last week. Well, what's up? Let's see who's in here. We got Lauren, Adam, Big Nate. Let's see, High Vision, Thomas Kimberly, Brian, Monroe, and Jacob. What's going down? Cool. Let me get a thumbs up. Thumbs up on audio. Everything good? Just a double check. What up? What up? Shout out from Millville. We got Mike here. Big Bang. South Jersey checking in. Big Bird. Cool. Can you guys hear me though? Just double checking before I jump in. Mel. All right, sweet. I just saw a couple thumbs up. All right, sweet. Just wanted to make sure before Mel's working. She's been working all day. She's got a bunch of stuff going on for a bunch of R&M. I call it R&M. Ronnie and Mel post. So she's been working on that stuff all day. So she might pop in. You know how she always does. But for the most part, I'm on my own and I set up most of it myself. So you never know what's going to happen when I'm in full control. Usually something goes wrong. But cool, man. Thanks for being here once again. It's another week going by real quick. These weeks are cracking by. We're already almost into the second week of January 11th. And we are officially, how many days? Dude, Saturday. Saturday is the first Supercross. The 16th. It's going down. Supercross season is right around the corner. So looking forward to that. Hyped up. Going to be here in Texas. But another good week. Actually got out hunting on Sunday, yesterday. So I got the freeze yesterday. Pretty much, it was cold. It didn't even get out of. It's pretty much 26 in the morning when I got there, and I think even in the afternoon, it was only up to like 27 or 28. It was cold all day, but it was pretty cool. Me and my buddy Drayton got in super early, probably an hour before sunlight, and just as the sun came up, maybe like 15 minutes out. So basically, you get like that 30 minutes of where the sun's coming up, and by the time the sun's up, it was like 15 minutes after. So it was from like, I think sunrise is like 7:30 now, so probably like 7:45, because 7 to 7:30 is kind of like getting light. 7:45, I just hear like sound like a whole herd of deer just running, and I'm like, which they were, and I'm like, oh man, and I kind of like, I was sitting in a ground blind. I looked and I just saw horns, and not like, I saw a nice buck and then a nicer buck, and I was like, whoa, there's like two bucks coming, sweet. So one walked right out in front of me, and I'm sitting off this path, so I thought for sure he's gonna walk straight up this path. Well, that's what I was hoping. I'm like, oh man, I hope he comes up this path. But he stopped in front of me. He had a real high rack. I don't know if he was a 6 or 8, because he was looking. He seriously was like looking into the blind, but he was 60 yards away, standing right at me, and he wasn't the biggest one. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna wait. Hopefully he comes up, walks up this trail, and that bigger buck follows him. But sure enough, there's like this, it goes down a hill and there's a creek, and then it crosses over, and it kind of has this little couple open spots. He jumps down, goes across there, and then it was just like one after another. Boom, this next buck comes across, and he looked like a real wide 8. Like, seen him from the side, definitely was an 8-pointer, and like the other one was high, one was wide, and then the third buck that came through was monster. And I saw that buck the last time I hunted out there with Drayton. This dude's giant. The biggest buck that I ever seen in the woods that I had a chance to shoot. I've seen big bucks in Stillwell, Kansas, driving around. I see them all the time down there, but it's cool to see a buck that big in the woods and actually have an opportunity maybe to shoot him. But boom, he goes by, and then a spike comes by, and then there was a doe in between, and then there was this, I think he already shedded one of his horns. He had just a, I don't know what he was. Maybe he was a Y, maybe he was a 6, but he only had one horn. He's already lost one. They all went across that creek, and I could see him. I kind of lost the big one, but I could still see that nice 8 kind of grazing, but too far for a shot. He's probably like 80 yards through the brush. There's no way I could shoot this deer. Maybe with a rifle, maybe, but not with a crossbow. And I'm like watching them, and then all of a sudden, I don't know what spooked them, and something spooked them, and they all just boned out. So I think they were dogs chasing them, because I saw dog tracks back there when I was getting out. So I think one of the neighbor's dogs might have spooked him. That's why they came running towards me, and then they kind of crossed over, and then I think they got spooked again and ran off. But that was the... Oh, hold up. This light trips out sometimes. Let me get a little action there. Get back in the game here. All right, sorry. I don't know why it does that. But, and that was it. They ran off and sat there for... I don't know, probably till about 11, and my feet were freezing. I had hand warmers, hold on to those hand warmers. I had to take my boots off and put my hand warmers in my boots, try to get my toes to come back to life because they were frozen, they were numb. And then I got out, took a little lunch break, and then we got back in about 2, I think it was about 2:15, and then we sat in the dark. I didn't see anything in the afternoon, but... So that was pretty much it. The season here, I was on the Missouri side, ends, I believe this Friday is the last day you can bow hunt. So it was probably my last day for the year, so it was all good. It was still fun. Excitement in the morning made the day. If it wasn't for the excitement in the morning, it probably would have sucked. Because nothing's more boring than sitting in a deer blind or in a tree or just in the woods freezing waiting for deer. But when you do see deer, it makes hunting fun. But anyway, so that was my hunting story and trip over the weekend. And other than that, honestly, just had a really a week of we've been chipping away on Mark. Mark Collective is me and Mel's brand, and we've got all the women's hats are ready to be picked up. We're going to be picking up those probably tomorrow, and we're getting all the men's hats after that. So wrapping up with that, hopefully going to have all the new stuff up on markcollective.com in February is the goal, to have that up and going with all the new stuff. Other than that, we got, let me see here. What else is cracking? We do. Just another quick update. There's still one spot left available for the January 30th class. It's going to be at Lake Elsinore Motocross Park in Southern California, Lake Elsinore, California. January 30th, one spot left. Anybody in that area, surrounding areas, Arizona, Vegas, you want to come out, it's a 5-hour class. It's semi-private, 5 riders for 5 hours. Get signed up at Ronnie Faisst. Let's see, let me pull this up for you guys. RonnieFaisstMX.com. You get signed up there. Get all the information that you need about the classes. But other than that, we are here for another Moto Monday, 7 p.m. Central Time, every Moto night, every Monday night. So hey, thanks for hanging. If you're new here, this is how we do it. We talk moto, we talk bike setup, we talk about anything motor-related, training and racing, whatever. But the way I like to do it, because a lot of people get in here, and there's a lot of people just... We have a family on here. We got a group of people here week after week, week after week. So they're in here. They all know each other. We all know everybody. Everybody's on here hanging out, talking in the chat. So for me to be able to find your question, I have to be able to pick it out from the comments. So just put the question marks up if you're new here, you've never been here. That way I don't skip past your question. That's how I can kind of scroll through all the comments real fast and then find the questions. And we go at it hard. We go here for about an hour, about 8 o'clock, we'll wrap it up. And we can just jump right in. Hey, V Dubsky is not going to be here tonight. He did hit me up and said his mom's not doing so well, and I told him we'd be praying for her. So keep V-Dub's mom. V-Dub is one of our boys that's here week after week, and his mom has been sick. So throw her up in your prayers if you can. You got a little bit of time, and let's just pray right now. Father God, we just thank you for V-Dub and who he is, and we thank you for his mom, Lord, and we just ask that you would touch her body and heal her, Lord, in the mighty name of Jesus, Lord. We love you so much, and we trust you, God, and we ask for a miracle, God. In Jesus' name, amen. We'll keep on praying. We love V-Dubsky. He's one of our homies. And, all right, I'm going to scroll up to the top. And it looks like we got a question right off the bat. First one. Let's get in here. We got Lauren. He says, what up, Ronnie? Sorry I haven't purchased any merchandise. All good, my brother. Hey, no worries, dude. Don't ever, hey, people got to do what you got to do. Don't ever... merchandise is always here, ain't going nowhere. Don't worry about it. Everybody do take care of business. We'll always have it available. We got new stuff coming out. We're gonna have a new not a flex fit, but a I don't know why I'm thinking flex fitted snapback on the RFMX side. We got a new one we're working on that should be out hopefully in February as well. So we do have some new things in the work. So we'll be I'll do posts and let everybody know when we got some new stuff coming out, but definitely gonna be doing some new drops. All right, let's see here. Here we go. We got Mike here. Oh, shout out from Millville. So that's Jersey. I thought that was. All right, let's see. Here we go. Let's get Lauren back up here again. He says, I have all or most of the safety equipment and gear except a neck brace. Do you wear a neck brace? And I don't wear a neck brace. I tried them. But you gotta remember, like, for freestyle, I moved my head. I gotta move my head back. I turned a lot, so I didn't like them for freestyle. I actually rode them on the track. They didn't bother me as much, but I didn't like them for freestyle because I like to look certain ways for certain tricks, and it kind of restricted where my head would go. So I didn't wear one during my freestyle career. Sorry, I just bumped your thing off here. But let me see. And what are some good neck braces? Here's the deal. I'm not going to say they're bad, but I've heard good and bad about both of them. I personally don't wear one. The one that I did have, I had an Alpine Star one. I was wearing Alpine Star gear and boots and all that when I tried one. So that's the one I have. I don't, so it's hard for me to say which one's the good ones because I never really rode a whole lot in them. But it's like hit or miss. I've heard people like, yo, you got to wear one, and I've heard other people don't wear one. So it's one of those things. I think it's wise to wear all the safety equipment. So even though I've elected to not wear one, I don't think it's a bad idea. Like, you know what I'm saying? But just know there's people who have their opinions about them. But at the end of the day, knee braces, the right riding boots, good helmets, all that stuff. Eye protection. Gloves. You ever see people riding without gloves? I'm like, this dude don't no gloves on, dude. You ride with gloves. Like, how do you slip a hand off so quick? But you should wear all your stuff all the time. So I'm not against neck braces at all. If I had a kid, I probably would put one on my kid, or I would at least do some serious research and really look into them before I made a decision if I was gonna put my kid in them. But at the end of the day, I'm 100% supportive of wearing all the stuff that's out there to keep us safe, because we all know we are going to hit the dirt at some point. All right, so let's get Jesse up here. He says, how was your New Year's Eve and Christmas? I missed that episode due to work. Everything was good, man. We had an awesome Christmas. We were in Colorado Springs with male side of the family, and it's a just great place to visit, to be honest with you. It's awesome that we have family out there and we get to go there. We used to get to go there once or twice a year, so that was great. And then for New Year's, me and Mel just kicked it. We were low key. We didn't even make midnight. We were probably catching Z's by 10:30. But that's us. We're low key, so it was all good. And we're excited for the new year. We just picked up because we obviously have two channels. We have this channel, and then we have our ministry channel, Ronnie and Mel Ministries. And we just picked right back up. We started filming again for that on last Friday. So there's actually a video coming out tomorrow on that page, and then so every Tuesday we'll drop videos on that page as well. So we're excited. We got a whole plan and everything that we want to do on that page, and we're ready to go here. Hey, and we actually might get a riding day in this week, or a film day, should I say, with Andre. Andre is our filmer, and it's looking like the Midwest is warming up. It was like 40, 45 today. It actually was a lot warmer than yesterday, and I think Wednesday, Thursday is going to be in the 50s. So trying to work out the details with the filmer, and we might be able to sneak in a little riding video because it's been cold. So anyway, but everything's good, man. New Year's, we're ready to get it cracking here in 2021. Excited. We got a lot of things going down. We got Eric Davis up in here. What's up, my brother? Danny B, what up, what up? 211, what up, what up? Every time I see 211, I think of this dude, Pitchler. I met this kid at FCA camp, and I believe his number was 211, and he just recently passed away. His parents had hit me up and let me know. But every time I see that, I think of him, though. So hope his family's doing well. I know it's got to be a tough time for them. But Much love for Pitchler. He was a cool little dude. He was in my group. FCA is it's a Christian motocross camp, and they'll give you like a group of kids for the week. He was one of my kids. He was in my group, and we like he was funny. He was a good dude. I was really sad to hear that he had passed away. But anyway, that's another good camp to check out. Do you guys ever want to check out an FCA camp? Look up FCA Motocross Camp. Worked with those guys for years, honestly, like on and off throughout my freestyle career. And then they always do a camp down in Oklahoma, usually every year. COVID obviously kind of jacked things up a little bit, but I usually go to the Oklahoma camp every single year. Trey Kennard's usually down there. They're just great group of people, great camp. Definitely look them up. See if you got any camps in your area. All right, let's get Kurt up here. He says, are you still flipping, and is there a chance of another Australian tour for you? I haven't flipped in years, so I'm not flipping anymore. I don't even have a ramp set up, so I don't ride freestyle that much. So that's why I don't really flip. Don't really have even a ramp to do tricks on too much. And a chance for another Australian tour for me? Probably most likely not. I'd be so rusty right now if I tried to come out and do freestyle. Like I probably could throw off a couple tricks that you probably, you know how it is. Like some things you just don't lose. They probably would feel a little rusty, but I probably could work on them and within a couple of days polish them up. But I definitely wouldn't have the trick list that I had when I was riding every single day, 5 days a week, staying. That's how freestyle is. It's kind of like I would assume it's kind of like skateboarding. Like skateboarders say, if they don't do their tricks every day, they're hard. That's the same way freestyle is. You got to do your tricks every day. When you don't do them, you get rusty and they feel awkward. But if you hit them every day, 5 days a week, go out and do your trick list, you can throw them, you can pop them off like nothing. Pop, 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 pop. Easy. Take a little bit break, come out, and you're like, whoa. You feel off balance. You feel like you got to relearn it. You're like, what the heck? This used to be easy. So for me, the last time I rode a ramp was like April last year, and that was the first time I rode a ramp since I moved from California. And I didn't do much. I think I almost had a kiss of death. That would have been the highlight of the day, but I got a flat and I couldn't keep trying them. But I got halfway with like 2 tries, so I could have for sure done one. I guarantee you I could. That was my go-to trick. But what did I end up doing that day? I did a lazy boy. I did a knack. Or actually, I did a coffin. I'm gonna claim I didn't take my hands all the way off, so I had the half lazy boy. I had the coffin. I did a whip turn down, half a kiss of death, half of a lazy boy, and a knack. So, but I only hit the ramp like probably I did all those tricks first time, and then I got a flat. Like seriously, first 5-10 minutes hitting the ramp, and then I was done for the day. So I was like, well, it is what it is, right? 45-minute drive to hit the ramp for 15 minutes. Oh well, it happens. I'd rather get a flat tire than crash. Let's get 211 back up here. It says, are you coming to Arizona? I was planning on coming to Arizona for the Supercross with Twitch, but obviously they changed the schedule. So at the moment, I have no plans of being in Arizona. But like I said, I'm going to be in California. I'm going to be in California for a class on the 30th. And then I'll be back in February, and I'll be back in March. I'll have 3 California classes, January, February, March. So if anybody's, like I said, we had a rider in the last California class drive up from Arizona. So it's like a 5-hour trip if you're in the Phoenix area. So if anybody wants to make the day trip, love to have you come up. We're going to be out at Lake Elsinore, ripping, checking it out. All right, let's get Anthony up here. He says, where are you at? Were you at the first ever Krusty show in Perth? And yes, in 1999. Yes, I was. That one was nuts. I was there. And also, how did you guys get the bikes to all the Krusty film locations? Rent or ship them? Most of the bikes were supplied. So obviously all the bikes in Australia were supplied from just. Usually we all rode Honda, so most of the time we would find a local Honda shop in the town or the city or wherever we were going to be, and they would hook us up with bikes. And that was like that in Australia. And then same thing, like when we went to Perth, the local Honda shop hooked us up with bikes for the Perth film trip. And then in Japan, same thing. We went to Japan, and the local Honda shop hooked us up with bikes. So it was so Dana and Johnny, all the film producers, they lined all that up. We had it pretty made on those tours. Oh, even on those film trips, we would basically get to fly in first class on not all the flights, but a lot of them were first class flights. The Krusty tours are first class flights. The film trips normally just coach, but whatever. I was 20 years old. I was pumped, flying around the country filming motocross videos, and then all the hotels are 5-star hotels. And they took care of everything, covered all expenses, hooked us up brand new bikes from shops. They took care of. We didn't have to do nothing. All we had to do was show up and go scout out and find jumps. So it was those trips were seriously some of the funnest trips. And Kerry Hart was on a lot of those trips. Seth Unslow, Sink Mars. They were definitely some of the best memories that I have, touring around with those guys and finding jumps too. That was the thing, trying to find. That was the thing. Whoever found the best jump of the film trip was like the hero of the trip, because they got the best shot of it. So it was like a little bit of a competition, like who could find the best jumps. And you're out in these deserts or just different type of terrain. None of us knew. We weren't for those countries, and trying to scout it out and find like a natural hit that could be in the video. Because if you didn't find a cool jump, it didn't make the cut. You had to find the cool jump. All right, so let's get Thomas Kimberly up in here. He says, "Hey, dude, do you plan on possibly putting out a nutrition or workout plan for moto racers since you train moto?" And yes, this has been talked about multiple times through me and my wife. My wife, Mel, is full on pretty much like a vegan. She's way better than me. I used to eat good when I was training. Now I'm kind of like, whatever. I'm just eating. I'm hungry. But she's really cleany, and we talked about that multiple times of putting together some type of little bit of a training, food diet, all that stuff. So that's definitely possible. I just have to get to it. I just got to buckle down and do it, but definitely has been on the radar and been in multiple conversations about things that we could do to just help out the students and stuff. So yes, I would say yes to that. But she's really good, and that's why I kind of mentioned the thing about her being a vegan. She's really good at knowing. She's all natural. Like, everything's organic, everything, like, she's anti, what would you call that? Chemicals. Like, everything's natural. Natural oils, natural this. Now, she makes her own. It's not crazy. It's not crazy, but this is how, like, she's serious about it. She makes her own soaps. Her own soaps, her own lotion. She makes them. She finds all the natural stuff and then makes her own, because she won't buy anything that's toxic. Toxic, that's the word she likes to use. She don't like toxic. Which is good, though, because you think about it, a lot of the things that we use, we don't realize that they are toxic, and we just use them every day, not thinking too much of them. That's how I am. I'm like, whatever. Let's just do it. Easy. Go buy it. She's like, no, we're going to make it. Take a little time. We're going to make it healthy and natural. But it is it's a better lifestyle to live for sure. All right, so let's get Chris here. Who's your top 5 for the first rounds? Man, that's a good question. Do I still have up? Let's pull up these from last week. Let's look at these, because this is a good question. Who's our top 5s? And we all can chime in on this, because it's coming down. All right, let's pull up the 450. These are just the power rankings. Let's just throw these up so we can kind of think about this for a second. Who's your top 5? Man, because this is a hard class. Like, look at this lineup. We got Tomac, Webb, Roxon, Osborne, Cincerello, Anderson, Stewart, Barsha, Sexton, and Muscan. I'm telling you, there's just a list of champions and podium guys here. It's such a hard, man, just to get in top 10 in this class, you got to be on point. Like Wilson's not even on this list. And Wilson's got skills too. He's usually up in the top 10. Like that's how tough this list is. All right, so who am I gonna go with? I'm always supporting Ken Roxon 100%. So I'm putting him, and these aren't in any order. I'm just saying guys that I like to see. He's saying top 5. I'm gonna give you my top 3 first. I would like to see Roxon up there. Man, to be honest with you, I'm going down here. I would even say Stewart, because I always liked. He's kind of. He's kind of an underdog in a sense, because he's probably been on the podium the least out of these guys in the 450 class. But I like him. He's a really nice guy, and he rips into whoops. He's just aggressive. and he had that bad get off, and he's been on a comeback ever since. I'm always voting for the guy because I know it's tough to make those comebacks. So you always want to see the guy that had a nice setback come back in. So I would love to see Stewart up on the podium. I'd love to see Roxton, and then I like Sexton's style. And it's funny because some people think he has a little bit of attitude, which he may. Maybe he does have a little bit of an attitude, but I still like his style, and he's a newcomer, so I wouldn't mind seeing Sexton up there. But also, since he said 5, they've probably been top 3 guys. And then I still like Cincerello for sure. And then, hey, I'm going to put Anderson in the mix too. I'm going Anderson because I just like – it's funny. He's like the opposite style of ride. He's like the elbows down, super loose. But I just think he's fun to watch. He's like the opposite style of Roxon. Roxon's like picture perfect form. And then Anderson's like just loose but sick, right? Who can't not like Anderson's style? He just gets down, and when he's on, he's on. So he was off a little bit last year, so it'd be cool to see him kind of, you know what I'm saying? He won the championship, and then kind of like I'm trying to get my face in a little bit. He won the championship, and then kind of, and it seemed like everybody was like, "Yeah, dude, you're not, he ain't coming back." Everyone was against him, and he didn't really have the greatest year. Maybe it's the pressure. Pressure's tough out there, so it'd be sweet to see him kind of come back. You know, he's got the skills. He's got what it takes. He's already won it. If you did it once, you can do it again. So, all right, let's look at the 250. Who's your guys' top 5s? I mean, I'm definitely going to go with Faulkner and Lawrence, those 2 dudes for sure. And then who would I like? You know what? Like I said, I'm going to go with Craig. I like to see Craig get up there. Craig would be sweet. Hampshire too, right? I'm going Faulkner, Lawrence, Craig, Hampshire. Who else? Who would be my 5th dude? I'll go Cooper. Yeah, I'm going to go Cooper. Justin Cooper. They're my guys. So you guys can throw up your stuff. Let everybody know what you think. But that's what I'm going with. I mean, it's hard to narrow these dudes down. I pick a lot of people by riding style or personality too. If I just like you, I want to see you do good. If you're a good dude and you do good interviews and you're like respectful and professional and just, I like that. I'm like this, you know, he's got a good heart. He's got like, some people just, you ever like Cincerello. Cincerello's never negative. He could have the worst race, everything go wrong. He gets on there. If he messes up, he takes credit for it. He doesn't point the blame. He's just a nice dude, good attitude. And I think, Mel kept saying how much he liked him, so I started paying attention to him because I kept saying Roxon, and she's like, no, Cincerello. And then I started listening to him, watching him, like, you know what, you're right, Cincerello is legit. The dude's legit. He can't only ride, he's got the right attitude and the right mindset. So I think he's gonna be tough. All right, let's keep it moving here. Did I skip any? Did I get Jesse here? I feel like I skipped Jesse. I might have skipped you for a second. All right, we're going to jump back. He says, can you please come to Appleton, Wisconsin and do a moto camp? Because I would love to learn how to do some tricks on a dirt bike. Let me see. Where'd you? Wisconsin. Hey, Wisconsin I don't think's too far from here, is it? But just to clarify, my classes are more moto related than freestyle related. I really just go like, here's the deal. Like, I think everyone should really have the fundamentals of riding dirt bikes before they are trying to jump off of dirt bikes and do tricks. Like, you should have a solid foundation how to ride that bike, corner it, jump it, ride. You should just know how to ride. Because I think everyone has watched certain guys in freestyle that you could just tell their bike skills aren't up and they're trying tricks and they're usually scary to watch. You're usually like, whoa. So develop good riding techniques first and then get into doing tricks. So, but anyway, I focus mostly on doing the motocross stuff. Not that I don't want to teach freestyle motocross. I would love to teach freestyle motocross. I just don't have a place to do it at the moment. And another thing is, how many people, maybe that's a good question for you guys, for me, is how many people would really be into learning freestyle motocross? If I was to do a class, like how many people, because I always wondered that, like, is it that big of a draw? Because it's kind of an elite sport. Not everybody is really. Freestyle is just different. Like, everyone can get on and just learn how to ride a motorcycle and be on any level. You could be a novice level and ride motorcycles and just have fun. Freestyle, I feel like it's a little bit different mentality. Like, it's just so. I feel like, and if you just look at the amount of freestyle riders in the world versus the amount of racers in the world, they can't even compare. And you look at like how many, like where's the next generation of freestyle riders? Where's all the American? Like there's not even none coming up. Like, but there's endless racers coming up. So that's what I'm saying. Like there's a way bigger draw of people who just want to ride and learn how to ride and race versus people looking to get into jumping ramps and doing flips and doing gnarly stuff. But doesn't mean I wouldn't teach it if somebody wanted to learn and had the ability. But like I said, throw that up. I just would be curious how many people might be interested in learning how to jump ramps or learning how to do freestyle tricks. Because maybe I will do a class someday here in the Midwest once I get a place to do it. All right. You ever do any classes in the New England area? I haven't done any. But I'm trying to get back to New Jersey maybe next summer. It's been, obviously I'm from New Jersey, so I've had a few friends that live back there try to get it set up to where I can come back and do a class back there next summer, next spring. So that would probably be the closest thing to the New England area would be, it'd be in South Jersey. Probably still a decent little drive, but definitely a lot closer than Kansas. I'm open to teach other places. It's just a matter of, obviously you gotta have a place to do it, and I gotta get a bike. So we'll see how it all goes. All right, so we got Brian here. He says, possible new tank tops on the RFMX line for summer. Yeah, excuse me, 100%, Brian. We'll throw a tank top in the mix for summer. Maybe even one or two. We'll see. But we'll definitely have some tank tops coming out. Yes, sir. 211, did you get that bike yet? I didn't, but I emailed them. And they didn't hit me back. And I was like, what happened? Like, why didn't they hit me back? But I did. I did hit them up. I was like, hey, I'm ready to go. Like, let me know what the next step is. So I'm just waiting on an email back. But hopefully here soon. I'm sure they'll hit me back. I mean, maybe he's still out of town or something. I don't know. I was like, man, what happened? But I'm sure they'll get back to me. But here's the deal. It's going to be cold here, January, February. I want to get it in January, so I got time to get it all dialed in. But it's like, obviously, I don't want to wait any later than February, because by March, it's going to start, the weather's going to start to shift a little bit, and then we'll definitely get in some riding days. So I definitely want it by February, but it'd be sweet to get it now. I mean, dude, a month's already half over, and I'm going to California here in another 2 weeks or so. All right, so let's get Ace up here. So that's what I'm saying. Like, time flies. We got to get it cracking. I just don't want to be the pest and send another email and be like, hey, it's me again. Like, dude. All right. He said, yesterday I went to my friend's grandma's house to go riding yesterday with my sister and my friend, and I twisted my leg on the second and third lap. What would you do? So you twisted your leg. So you jack your knee up when the leg twisted. I mean, the best thing to always do is ice. Oh, I mean, here's the deal. Like, if it's broke, you probably would know if it's broke, because it'd be swollen, it'd be black and blue. You probably wouldn't be able to step on it. If it's broke, like if it was broke bad, you already probably went that off. But if it's just fractured, because sometimes you can have a fracture and you're in between. You're like, is it sprained or is it broke? Sometimes you might need to go get an x-ray just to be sure. And so you can just know, like, okay, I'm not hurt. Killer, I got a sprain, and then let it heal. But ice is always key right off the bat. First 48 hours, you got to ice it, get the swelling down as soon as you can. Ice will be your best friend, even though it's usually not that fun to ice. But it does work. But I would recommend, if it is swollen and black and blue and you can't put a lot of pressure on it, and it don't give, you might want to just get a quick x-ray just to check it off the list, just so you know. Thoughts on Jet Lawrence? I'm with it. I'm down. Was he not on the list? Was Lawrence not on there? He had to be on there. Yeah, right there. He's second. I said him second too. Yeah, I'm with him. Yeah. I think Lawrence is sick. He's bad. I'm with him. I think he's gonna be up there, 100%. Been watching all the Krusty videos. What's your favorite one? Man, that's a good question there, huh? How many? There's so many, huh? There's so many. I don't even think I've seen them all. But I mean, you can never go wrong with Krusty 1. That's the OG one with Seth's big crash. I mean, I feel like 1, 2, and 3 were probably the best. Right? Don't you think? 1, 2, 3. Then it was what? It was Krusty 1, 2, and 3, and then Krusty 2000. They're probably. I feel like it's like in anything. the first stuff's always the best stuff. So I picked those 3: 1, 2, 3, and 2000. I mean, they're all good though. Don't get me wrong. I don't want those dudes to think their work got any worse. It's like anything, right? It's like the old, like with rock bands, like their first albums or older albums are always the coolest ones. Kind of like that. Let's see. How do you feel about new guys getting a buzz to their name for only doing whips compared to you and the OGs who put down real technical tricks? I mean, at the end of the day, I guess I never really fully thought, because the way I see it, the dudes who can do some whips are still super sick. Like they're just, it's just different. That's what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't consider those dudes freestyle dudes. I look at like, and I'm just gonna say like I'm thinking of Bierman because he doesn't really do tricks, but he can whip it. But I don't look down at Bierman and be like, oh, he doesn't do tricks. I just look at Bierman as a free rider and not a freestyle guy. I consider myself a freestyle guy / racer rider, like because I had both backgrounds. But as far as like making a living, I made a living as a freestyle guy. And Bierman makes a living, in my opinion, as a free rider, and so does Axel. But Axel's starting to learn a little bit of tricks. But at the same day, his trick list is nowhere near like a true freestyle dude. My mom's calling. Had to. All right, we'll let her go. But Axel wouldn't, like if you compared Axel's tricks to Taka's tricks, like Taka's a freestyle dude. He makes a living as a freestyle guy. There's no comparison. Like Taka's tricks are gnarly. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I just put those dudes in a different category. But at the end of the day, those dudes are sick. Like they have so much talent. Like I think the whips actually show some of the like most talent of bike handling skills out there. Like when guys can do a big whip on a bike, it's like automatic respect right off the bat. Like you just get respect in the motocross, and she's always been like that because it's whips are hard. And when someone can crank one, you're like, all right, mine's not that big. You're like, his is sick. So I don't think anyone would ever look down on any of those anything. We like I said, we respect him and even look at other ones and say, dude, that dude's sick. He's got sick style. Like like those dudes, both of those dudes. I feel like Axel and I'm just throwing those two names out. There's probably other guys you guys are thinking of. Like even Hansen. Well, he's more of a racer. I would think Hansen was a more of a racer guy / free ride guy, but definitely not a freestyler. So you guys get the point. But Axel and Bierman both have that same style, almost like the turn up style, the whip style, and like I said, that to me is pretty and fun to watch. Like sometimes I feel like they don't even really need to do tricks, and I think they just look cool. Like you ever just watch Hansen ride? Like Hansen's just fun to watch ride. Watch him ride, he looks stylish on a Supercross track, and then if you get him out on some jumps, he just looks cool. You're like. So it's like it's two different it's two different deals. So they respect us, we respect them, and the same thing like we respect racers. It's like respect across the board. I think some of the racers always said that all the time. They're like, I would never do what you guys do. I would never. Some of them were like, I don't even want to learn how to flip. I just don't want to do it. I think any of those dudes could learn how to flip if they took the time, because their level of riding skills are so high. They could definitely learn it. But like I said, tricks are a little bit different. And some of those dudes are like, I don't even want to try to do that. That's just not my deal. I'm a racer. I stick to going fast in turns. And like I said, that's another talent. Like I could never go as fast. Most of us could never go as fast as some of those dudes. They're just unbelievably fast. They go so fast. It's like, how do they go that fast? I could try as hard as I can, but I just can't go that fast. They do it like it's nothing. It's crazy. Skills. That's what it comes down to. Lots of talent. All right. All right, so we'll get Freddie Fred up in here. He says, do you ever catch any flack for all the tattoos around your church? Have you ever felt judged negatively? I love tattoos, but I feel like people make a negative judgment towards me in some settings. So when I first became a believer, I was living in California, and I remember when I first went in the church, I thought they were going to. I just figured, hey, I'm a tattoo guy, you know, probably going to get judged, but no one did. Everyone kind of accepted me in that church. So I thought they were going to judge me, and they didn't. So back there, and tattoos in California is really accepted. I feel like everybody has them, so it's probably different in different parts of the world, countries. So I never felt judged. Even moving out here to the Midwest, I don't feel like I ever walked into a church and felt. I'd never really. I had one experience. This was in California, but it wasn't in a Christian church. I remember I don't know if you guys know my whole story, but if you want to go check it out, it's on my other channel, Ronnie Mel Ministries. You can hear my whole testimony. But in the very beginning, I used to watch this dude on TV. That was kind of like my first intro to Christianity. And then he always said, get into a good Bible-based church. So after listening to the dude for a year or so, 2 years, I listened for a while, might have been even longer. I was like, man, I need to find a church. So my mom was a Catholic. So I thought, and I was even baptized as a Catholic as a baby. So I thought, oh, I'm a Catholic. I guess I'm a Catholic. I got to go to a Catholic church. So I remember my first church experience was a Catholic church. I went in there and I felt judged at that point because the lady next to me, I sat down. She had a purse. She took her purse and moved it on the other side of her like I was going to steal it and run. I remember she grabbed her purse, moved it, and I was like, wait a second. I'm like, did she just move her purse because I came into this little thing? But anyway, I felt a little weird that time. And then I just felt awkward in that church because everyone was standing up, sitting down, saying, like, reciting stuff I didn't know. So I was just, like, felt out of place. And then everything, I don't feel like, I'm not bagging on the Catholic Church by any means. This is my personal experience. And I felt like when the I want to call him a pastor, but I believe they call themselves fathers. When the father or pastor, the leader of the church, he didn't really teach. He just kind of like rattled off some Bible verses, and that was really it. So I felt like I sat in there the whole time, and I'm like, man, this was my honest thought. The dude on TV is way better than that guy. I'm like, I learned so much more from the dude on TV. So that was it. That was my last time I ever went into it. And then I asked Nate Adams, because he was the only Christian dude that I knew at the time. I said, hey, where you go to church at? And he was a Christian. And he's like, oh, yeah, I go to this Christian fellowship. And I thought, all right, well, maybe I'll check that out. And then I went. It was called a Revival in Menifee, California. That became my church. And I was there for like 7-8 years. But here's the deal. Get back to your question. Have you ever been judged? Have I ever been judged by the church? Now that I have a Christian YouTube channel that's worldwide, because we're talking about America, all my Christian experiences have been in America where tattoos kind of accepted. We have a worldwide platform that has different believers from all over the world. 48% of our followers on the Ronnie and Mel page, and there's a lot of subscribers on there. There's almost 100,000 now. It's only 48% are even in the United States. The other 52% are all over the world. So it's and there's different views on a lot of different things. I've been attacked over and over on that channel constantly, but I just don't let it affect me. Like, I know what the word says, but there is people who sometimes you read their comments or their emails. People email us all the time. And they're mean almost, and you think like, this is supposed to be this dude's supposed to be a Christian. He definitely ain't acting like a Christian, like, because Christians ain't supposed to act like this. I'm like, but whatever. So yes, I have been attacked with my tattoos, but it's been mainly online by other Christians from mostly other parts of the world. I'm not going to say they're all always been, or that none of them been Americans, because some of them probably have been Americans. But anyway, so yes. It is what it is, dude. Like, at the end of the day, like, here's the deal. And I just heard this. I was listening to, where was I listening to this at? I must have just had my headphones on and had a message on at the gym. Or maybe Mel had something on in the house, but I just literally heard this like a day or two ago. They were basically saying, like, no other Christian should ever not accept another Christian. If God accepts you, then what? But then how does any other brother in the faith have the the authority to reject you? And I'm like, that's a good point, Pastor. I'm like, yes. Maybe I should start telling people that when they start attacking me because I got tattoos. God accepted me, so maybe the rest of the church should as well. All right. But I have pretty tough skin thanks to Big Feist. Is Big Feist even in here? I haven't even seen him in here tonight. Did anybody see Big Feist? But Big Feist was always, he's always been like a bust your chops type of dad. You know what I mean? That's just Jersey. We're from Jersey, East Coast. They break your chops around there. So if you can't, and I grew up in that type of family where they were just always ripping on you. So I feel like I just got tough skin because I just grew up with everybody always cracking on you. And if you just got used to it, you just crack back. But I try not to crack back at that. I try to be loveful to the people. I just ignore them. To be honest with you, I don't even respond to people when they're negative. I just act like they never even said anything. So try not to let it bother you, because that's not how. A lot of times they're just mad about something, whatever. All right, let's get my boy Thomas Kimberly up here. It says, hey dude, hey dude, do you plan on? Oh wait, sorry, I don't know how did I get so far back in my questions again? I feel like I answered that one. All right, here we go. If I missed anybody's questions because I kind of lost my place, then pop it back up. All right, so we got Scummy here. He says, wait. Do you know what happened to Dana Nicholson? He's still around. I believe he's still in Huntington Beach, to be honest with you. We did a conference call last year. Me, Deegan, Johnny Freeman, Dana Nicholson, even Travis Pastrana was on it. Seth was on it. And that's the last time I seen him and talked to him. So, but he's still around. He's still hanging. Still looks like Dana, bald head. Still looks the same. But he's still hanging. I think Huntington Beach. I don't think he's going nowhere, dude. D-Dog. That's his nickname. He ain't leaving HB. That's his little spot. All right, do you watch, let's get 211 up here. Do you watch, what does that say? Dacre Rally? They got bikes. Do you watch? I don't know what that is, so I don't think, we don't even have TV. Is that like they got bikes? I don't know what that is. Sorry, dude. Yeah, we don't watch much TV around here. We got to kick on the news, which has just been firing me up lately. I can't even I just take a break from the news right now. Just get you so fired up. But yeah, Mel watch football games on Sunday. A little bit of news. That's about it. And a lot of YouTube. We watch YouTube. Got YouTube. All right. He said, yeah, Scummy did a how to hit a ramp. Yeah, so here you go right here. Scummy did a how to hit a ramp class, which was a good idea. I know Scummy has did it, but here's the deal. I talked to Scummy about it multiple times. He doesn't necessarily teach tricks. That's not his class is how to hit a ramp properly. So he doesn't necessarily go after like, hey, come and I'm going to teach you how to do tricks. He's like, come and I'll just show you how to jump the ramp properly. So, which I think is a great place to start at the end of the day. So if anybody's in the area and if you want to get on a ramp, go link up with Scummy and go hit a ramp. Great place to. Because like I said, that's what makes it really hard for freestyle riders to come up. There's no, unless you have land and a freestyle ramp and a landing, a yard to build a jump, where are you going to learn how to jump a ramp and learn tricks? Because none of the public tracks have freestyle setup. So it's a really hard sport to break into, and everything's invitational. So if you're not somebody that everybody already knows, you most likely you're not going to get invited to the event. So it makes it really harder for even new people to come up when there's no amateur ranks. It's a tough sport. Definitely hard to get into. And here's the deal. If you were just getting started in freestyle right now, man, there's so much to learn to catch up to actually be a consistent podium guy. Like, think about to be on a podium, you need to have a double flip and a front flip in your run, plus a bunch of gnarly flip variations. So you would have to go learn the hardest, gnarliest tricks that took the guys that are doing them their entire career to learn them. So it's a long, it's a, man, not saying it's impossible, it's just tough. Because you could, basically, if you really wanted to be an up-and-coming freestyle guy, you would need to go watch a current X Games run, if you wanted to ride freestyle, and say, okay, and watch the top 5 guys, analyze what tricks they did in a run. I guarantee you the top 3 guys, or let's say top 3 guys, so you want to get a medal. Watch the top 3 guys. They're going to have, I guarantee you, double flip and front flip, and then probably 1 or 2 decent up to right tricks, and the rest are going to be gnarly flip tricks. So then you could narrow it down, going, these are the tricks that I have to learn in order to be on the podium, and you could focus on those tricks and forget about having every single trick in a book, because we kind of learned them in stages, you know? You kind of just worked up as we went, but we were creating it as we went. But I'm just saying, if you were trying to get into it now, you could take that approach and go learn 6 or 7, go learn 2 really good regular trips, 3 really good flip tricks, and then 2 bangers, and you could have a chance, which it's not impossible. It's just hard and scary. A lot of risk in freestyle for sure. All right, so let's get Andre up here. Where would you do classes in Jersey, E-Town? I believe, so what's been kicked around for the Jersey classes is, you've heard of, what's it called? It's down in Millville. It's by there's a racetrack down in Millville. Is Big Feist on here yet? Field of Dreams, that's what it's called. So Field of Dreams is one of the tracks that's got brought up. And the other place was, Raceway actually never got brought up. I don't know what's going on with Raceway. The other one was actually old school racer that lives up like Central Jersey, Jerry Sipe. He is friends with, there's a current top ATC rider, or quad rider that lives in his area, and his dad bought a pit and built an outdoor track inside the pit. And Sipe's, I'm good friends with Jerry, and Sipe's good friends with him, so he was like, hey, maybe I can talk to him, we could do something in the pit, because the track's sick. And it's legit, I've seen it. I believe Dirtworks built it. So that was an option. It'd be on a private track, but it's real sandy up there, so it'd be like a sand style track, but it would be sick. I'd be open to Raceway. I just don't know who I would contact. I'm sure I could find out with some phone calls to some friends back there and figure it out. But I'd be open to Raceway. That was my hometown track, so I would definitely be cool to do a class back there. And I actually went to motocross school at Raceway Park. I went to the J. Irwin School of Motocross. It was called the Beginner School of Motocross. I went there. It was my first motocross school. Let's see. Not a racing question, but didn't see if you got a deer this weekend. I didn't, dude. I told a story. I don't know if you jumped on and caught the story, but I didn't. I saw 5 bucks, 2 shooters in the mix. One was massive, but I didn't have a shot. They were like 60 feet. The closest they were 60 feet, and they were moving. Only one of them actually stopped for a second, but he wasn't the biggest one, so I didn't want to take a 60-yard shot at one of the smaller ones. But yeah, I did it. So hopefully next year. I did get one this year though. I got like a 9.5 pointer. Because I don't know how big's the point got to be. Someone said if it's big enough to hang a ring on it, it counts. Well, I could have hung a ring on it, but it's only like this big. So I'm going 9.5. Almost a 10. And I got him in Kansas. I was hunting in Missouri yesterday. But my buddy who I went with, the last day's Friday, and he like hit me up today. He's like, "You want to go on Friday?" He didn't see that buck, but I told him about it. He saw it the first day we were out because we sat together the first day. We split up this time, but he did see some bucks. We saw 7 different bucks in there yesterday. He had a 6-pointer right under him, but he let him pass because he knows that big one's in there, and he wanted to get the big one. But he's like, "You wanna hunt on Friday?" And I'm like, that's our film day, though. We film on Friday with the ministry stuff. So I'm like, shoot. We just got back into it. I don't think I can take a rain check our first first month back. Hey, I'm not coming to work. So I'm probably done for the year until next year. All right, so let's get Lauren back up here. He says, what is your tattoo on top of my left hand? That'd be Jesus. Can you guys see it? And this picture is on the cover. It's on the cover of the DVD, Jesus of Nazareth. I remember I took that photo of that into the tattoo artist. And then this is Mary. So, and then I got the God's Son. Can you guys see it? God's Son, you gotta kind of split it away. This is confusing when I look at the screen. It's backwards. I don't know which fingers to move. Can you show it? Oh yeah, I just showed you guys. Yeah. So and tattooed. These are old. So the thing to try to do a portrait on a hand is because I remember when I told him that I brought it in the picture and I was like, hey, I want to do a portrait of Jesus on my hand. And he's like, on your hand? He's like, man, I don't think you should do a portrait on your hand. I'm like, why? And he's like, the hands just don't hold ink that good. He's like, I think you should put it somewhere else. And I was like, nah, I want to do my hand. So I had to talk him into it. But for as old as they are, they're holding up pretty good. I've never had them touched up. I'm probably not going to. The thing is my tattoos on my arms are so faded now because these are 20 years old. My arms are well over probably 20 years old at this point. They're faded. If I touch up one part, it's going to be so bright I'd have to do the whole arm. It would stand out and wouldn't flow anymore. I'd have to go do the whole thing, and I don't want to do that. So if I would come in here and tattoo my hands, I would have these really dark hands and then really gray arms, so it'll look goofy. So I'm just going to let them get old. The deal is when you got 30, 40, 50-year-old tattoos, they're supposed to look old and crappy. That's going to be me. I'm going to be that old dude all tatted up with a bunch of tattoos that just blended all in together because they're 50 years old. That's how I'm rolling. Put a set of lokes on and just loke out. Grow a big beard. I keep telling Mel I'm going to grow a big old beard. I was like, when I get older, I'm just going to grow this big beard and let it be. Everybody's beard in my family turns white. Like right now, I grow beard is red. I look like a leprechaun, but it's gonna be white one day because Big Fights, he's got the white. Uncle Chuck had the white, so I'm going white Santa Claus beard, bald head, loke dog, tatted up. That'll be my super retired look. She's not happy about it. Big Bang. He says we need more ex-pros out here in Australia doing coaching. Maybe we should get you out here one day. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, do you guys got some coaches over there? Like, how about on the motocross side? You got some good coaches over there? I know in America there's definitely tons of moto coaches, but that's the thing. There's tons of moto coaches, not too many freestyle. Like, I think Morrison's the only guy who even did a little bit of freestyle stuff, ramp stuff. But yeah, man, Australia is one of my favorite places I've been in the world. It is awesome over there. All right. Oh, yeah, so sorry. Yep, that is the Lord. It's buffering again? Mel's saying it's buffering. I don't know why it's buffering. Oh, yeah, I got Lauren. I saw his question twice. Sorry if I missed it the first time. I lost my place. Here's look. He said, Joe Osteen, what do you think of him these days? That's the guy I used to watch. I don't know if I mentioned that, or maybe you saw the. I don't even think I mentioned his name in my testimony. Because here's the thing, I always try to be respectful for the thing, because a lot of people bag on him, catches a lot of heat. At the end of the day, like, I look at it like this: God used Joe Osteen in my life, and I don't know him personally, and I actually heard that people who've been to his church say a lot of good things about that church. So I'm not gonna bag on the dude, because for me it was a little intro step. Like here's the deal: if you start with Osteen, I think you just need to mature on, because at the end of the day, like, if you watch Osteen for long enough, now that I know, because now I've been a Christian for 10, 15 years or so. He does only preach one side of the gospel. He doesn't talk about sin, doesn't talk about repentance. So a lot of people get offended. A lot of people say, hey, that's not the gospel. He doesn't never talk about repentance, which I get. That's true. That's why he catches the heat that he catches. So I'm saying you just need to move on. But he's a good intro. He's a good intro for people like me who are so far off that it's just good little uplifting message that can get your foot in the door. But he does say get into a good Bible-based church. And I think was probably the best advice I took for him, because when I went into a Bible-based church, that's actually when I started reading my Bible for myself, is actually when I realized, like, wait, I need to repent, because I didn't get that message from him. So like I said, I'm not gonna beat him over the head, but I can see why he does get beat over the head. I get it. Because the deal is, if you're going to preach the message, you should preach the entire message. You know what I'm saying? Because repentant is step one. But I still think God can use them. God used them in my life, and He's probably used them in a lot of other people's lives. But we want to graduate onto the entire Scripture and learn it all. We want it all, man. We don't want just the good stuff. We want everything. We want to know the whole deal. We want to know how it's all going down. So that's and it's already 8 o'clock. Dude, it goes so fast in here. I'm just scrolling to see if I can catch any. Oh, here's Big Feist. Come on, man. Your boy, Beijing Biden. Big Feist's buddy. Can film anytime. Get hunting squid. Wait, what is Big Feist talking about? What does he say? Can film anytime, get hunting squid. Oh, sorry, I get it. He's talking about me filming for her on Friday, get hunting. Trust me, I was thinking about maybe trying to reschedule. Ran through my head a couple times today. All right, so it looks like that's probably it. I don't see any other questions after Big Feist. But hey, good times once again, hanging out here with all you guys. Thanks for being here. Mel's coming in.
Big Feist wants to see Mally.
Oh, Big Feist wants to see Mally. Where's she at? Mel's bringing up Mally. Big Feist wants to see his grand dog. But hey, also, yeah, just big thanks. Big thanks everybody being here week after week. This is our online Moto family here on Moto Monday nights. 7 p.m. Cental Time. We'll be here. I don't know what happened. Mally's probably downstairs. She's probably downstairs sleeping. It's 8 o'clock. She goes to bed early. But I'm going to just hang out for a second. But I'm seeing peace. I'm seeing you. Peace and love. Yeah, man. Thanks for hanging. I'm seeing everybody. Anthony, Lauren, Chris. Big Feist to this girl. Monroe, what's up, brother? Everybody's here. Yeah, man. All right, so here she comes. We got to get Mally up here.
She was sleeping.
Yeah, I figure. Yeah, Brian says she's probably wanting to see some deer. Mally loves the deer. Oh! You see Pop-Pop? Where's Grandpa? You see him? You see him? Where's he at? Where's he at? Look! Mally! Mally! Say hi to him. Go with him. I know, I take her out on she goes out on our little, oh, hey! We go on our little road trips every night so she can see the deer. She loves scouting the deer with Daddy, huh? Yes. I'm teaching her how to be a little hunting dog. Mel says she's not a hunting dog.
She's not.
She's learning, huh?
She hates the cold.
No, we bring her outside, she starts shivering within like 5 minutes. She's like this. All right, man. We'll see you guys next week. Much love. Be safe. God bless you guys. Ride safe this week. And if you're in the Midwest, maybe I'll see you guys at the track because it could, I don't even know if they're open, but I'm going to try to find somewhere to ride maybe. It's going to be 55. Peace out, yo.